Hello, everyone. This is Andres Pop Culture Guy. This is the latest Andres Pop Culture Retrospective slash review, and it's on all the Bond films that I reviewed in the live stream and did tribute to on. Of course, I'm gonna do Thunderbolt, GoldenEye, A View to a Kill, Spectre, and The World's Done Enough. So this year, or well, last year, it was the big anniversary for Thunderbolt, View to a Kill, and GoldenEye, and Spectre as well. And I'm doing World's Done Enough because I didn't do a retrospective slash review on that last year when its 25th anniversary was for that movie. So yeah, so Happy New Year, happy last day of 2025, and then happy 2026 we're entering. So let's dig in and I'm gonna do this like chronicle over. I'm gonna start with Thunderbolt, the 1965 film. Happy 40th anniversary for this film, or actually no, this is the 60th anniversary for this film because the 40th is for YouTube. Sorry. So Thunderbolt, 1965 film. Happy 60th anniversary. This is the 1965 spy film, the fourth in the James Bond series, produced by Eon Productions, and of course it stars Sean Connery. Uh, let's see, and many others. Let me say, for this film's plot follows Bond's mission to find two nano atomic bombs stolen by Spectre, which holds the whole world ransom to a tune of $1 billion, and under threat by destroying an Pacific metropolis near the Kingdom of the United States. Later maybe in Miami, the church leads Bond to Bahamas in Miami, where he encounters Emilio Largo, number two, Spectre, and is backed by CIA agent Felix Faust and Largo's mistress Danielle Devereaux. Bond's search culminates in a underwater battle with Largo's henchmen. Okay, so overall, look, it was a tough for the producers of Eon to like really like bring another spectacular Bond film after GoldenEye. GoldenEye, the third of the entry, was amazing. It's definitely top tier Bond film. So what they have here for the fourth film is still fine. I think it's still a good film, but I think the story by Jack Whitman, and then of course the story convinced by Kevin McClory, who is really annoying and holds who famously holds the rights to Spectre until 2015, of course, with the movie Spectre. Developed this very massive, grand plot, but it really drags because after the villains get the plot going with the two native bombs, the story kind of falters a little bit, which I was kind of surprised with. um I think the big problem for me, it's a 2 hour magnus opus, but it's just like nothing goes on. You have Bond investigating where the bonds are, and like he knows who's the villains are. So I think that is something that's detriment to the film. It's like it's 2 hours long. I think there's a lot they could cut out from the story and make it more tight and like more excitement. I think the underwater sequences is really spectacular after 60 years, but they are a little too long, and I think the editor needed to like cut down a little bit of the these scenes because it's something else besides seeing turtles and sea creatures and then how beautiful it is. But yeah, I think one thing I will give it is the special effects is so good. I think it makes sense why it got nominated for this special effects. I think it won for one, I think, if I'm mistaken. But yeah, I think this film does everything right in terms of spectacle. The performances are still top notch. I think this is Carney's best performance. Not as good as GoldenEye, but it's the last where he kind of care about the character. After yes, he kind of just does very autopilot performance in his two last like Eon performances. You only live twice, and Diamonds Are Forever, but he does come back in a good performance and. The unofficial one, never say it again. But yeah, I think the villains were good here. I mean, Spectre to, Emilio Largo is a good villain, not the top tier, but he's very iconic with his card playing, eye patching wearing, physique is, got parodied by, Austin Powers. So like he's a really iconic villain for the ages, but I think the writers didn't give another villain to do. It just kind of is there. The Bond girl, Domino, very beautiful. The actress that plays her is really good. But again, the dubbing is like very annoying. I don't know why they dub sometimes some of the Bond girls, but I don't think they should have dub the first one in Doctor No and Domino. But I think overall, I think Thunderball is a very spectacular fourth entry. It is parodied quite a bit. I mean, it's a very iconic one, with the sea and number two, as I mentioned before, Austin Powers, parody this film quite a bit, particularly with number two, Largo. But overall, it doesn't live the heights as the three previous entries, Doctor No, From Russia Love, or Goldfinger, in terms of story or tightness. But what it does make up is the spectacle and, how you say, action scenes they have here. This is the biggest Bond after those three, but it doesn't have the heart or the kind of like tightness of the story that the previous two Bond films, From Russia Love and Goldfinger, had that really made those spectacular top tier Bond films. The rating for this, I think I remember I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I'll give this. So thank you everyone for listening to my Thunderball 60th anniversary review. Please check out more of the content.